Relentless monsoon rains continue to wreak havoc across northern India, with Punjab emerging among the hardest hit. Swollen waters of the Satluj River have triggered urgent concerns, prompting New Delhi to again alert Pakistan about the risk of potential flooding across the border. India had already issued multiple flood alerts last week over rising waters in the Tavi River. The latest advisory warns of possible flooding in the Satluj River. Officials in New Delhi have formally cautioned Pakistan, relaying the message through the High Commission in Islamabad, and now described the step as humanitarian in nature. And this comes amid relentless rainfall in Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and other northern states, forcing dam authorities to release excess water into rivers. In Punjab, rivers including the Satluj, Beas, and Ravi remain swollen, along with several smaller streams. Floodwaters have already inundated parts of Pathankot, Gurdaspur, Kapurthala, and other places, as well as Amritsar, leaving thousands struggling with devastation. The relentless monsoon rains continue to wreak havoc across northern India, with Punjab emerging amongst the hardest hit. Swollen waters of the Satluj River have triggered urgent concerns, prompting New Delhi to again alert Pakistan about the risk of potential flooding across the border. India had already issued multiple flood alerts last week over rising waters in the Tavi River. The latest advisory warns of possible flooding in the Satluj River. Officials in New Delhi have formally cautioned Pakistan, relaying the message through the High Commission in Islamabad, and have described the step as humanitarian in nature. This comes amid relentless rainfall in Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, and other northern states, forcing dam authorities to release excess waters into the rivers. Now, in Punjab, rivers including the Satluj, Beas, and Ravi remain swollen, along with several smaller streams. And floodwaters have already inundated parts of Pathankot, Gurdaspur, Amritsar, among others, leaving thousands struggling with devastation.
Well, devastating floods in Pakistan's Punjab province have claimed at least 17 lives in a single day and impacted more than 1 million people in the country. Floods have killed over 800 people in the country since late June, with more than 1,600 villages submerged and over 1 million people having been evacuated from their homes in Punjab province, which is experiencing its worst flooding in 4 decades. Torrential monsoon rains and the release of excess water from dams in India have swelled 3 rivers flowing into the eastern province.
So far, 1,692 villages across Punjab are underwater, affecting approximately 1,261,166 individuals directly impacted and facing various problems.
Residents of a village in Punjab's Mandi Bahauddin district pleaded for urgent rescue as floodwaters destroyed houses, wiped out crowds and crops, and killed livestock in this region.
Many families are stranded here, and the sudden floodwaters caught us off guard. Unfortunately, there was no prior warning or support from the administration. No transportation or rescue arrangements were made, leaving us without access to boats or aid. Families are anxious, and the situation is dire. We've tried calling emergency numbers, but no one is responding. If the water rises further, the danger will intensify.
All our pots for cooking and eating food, our knitted beds that we slept on have drowned and are now destroyed. The dowry furniture for my daughter that I had bought with difficulty is all gone. Our storage boxes are full of mud and dirty water. Everything is right there, destroyed in front of you.
Punjab province, which is home to half of Pakistan's population and a major producer of wheat, rice and cotton, remains hardest hit. India, which routinely releases water from dams when they overflow, even issued 3 flood warnings to Pakistan this week itself, calling them a humanitarian measure.
rescue operations also continue in the eastern part of Pakistan, where rising rivers have forced the evacuation of tens of thousands. More than 25,000 people have been evacuated from the city of Jalapur in Punjab province as floodwaters continue to rise, threatening homes and farmlands. The large-scale operation backed by troops and hundreds of rescue boats began late on Sunday night and continued through Monday morning. According to the Punjab Disaster Management Authority, residents from high-risk areas were moved to safer ground overnight. The evacuations comes just days after a tragic accident when a rescue boat overturned on the outskirts of the city, killing 5 people. 15 others were pulled from the water alive.
We are suffering a lot. Water is coming from the riverside. We need help. Our people and livestock are still stuck in the flooded area, and it's raining too. We are in trouble. Hurry up, government, and help us.
Volunteer groups like the Pakistan Markazi Muslim League are among those leading the charge in rescue efforts. Their spokesperson Tahamini warned that floodwaters have already submerged around surrounding villages and are now seeping into the city itself. Rescue teams say some survivors are still trapped on rooftops and even in trees. One evacuee described seeing people half submerged clinging to branches. Punjab government officials say they are using thermal imaging drones to locate those still stranded, boats to those in need as well.
Jalalpur Tehsil is underwater and all the persons who are present are at the safer place. There are 40 boats of rescue 1122 and other 38 boats of Pakistan Army. And we are constantly rescuing the people. Until now, both Army and Civil Administration has rescued more than 4,000 people since morning.
While Pakistan has not formally appealed for international help, support is already arriving. The Saudi government delivered 10,000 food and shelter kits following a shipment of emergency supplies from the United States over the weekend. It remains a race against time in Punjab as waters rise and rescuers work around the clock.
Flooding in Pakistan has claimed the lives of 23 people in the last 24 hours. Since June 26th, more than 850 people have died nationwide this monsoon season, according to figures released by the country's National Disaster Management Authority. According to official figures, 18 people were killed in Punjab, 4 in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and 1 in Balochistan in the past 24 hours. Of these fatalities, 17 were caused by riverine flooding, 4 by house collapses and 1 by drowning. With water levels in rivers rising to all-time highs, Punjab province is dealing with the biggest flood in its history. Visuals that have surfaced show people climbing onto rescue boats and sailing across fully submerged farmland to safety. Others were seen loading belongings into boats, trying to salvage what remained from damaged homes now abandoned.
We fear thieves. We don't want to abandon our animals. The water is rising fast. There are about 300 villages in this area.
We don't know where we'll go or when we'll come back. Everything we built is underwater.
Even as rescue operations continue, nearly 500,000 people have been displaced so far by flooding in eastern Pakistan. Rising waters from the Ravi, Sutlej and Chenab rivers have destroyed thousands of houses in the Punjab province. In Lahore, displaced people have been forced to take shelter in makeshift camps.
The flood waters have risen alarmingly high, almost reaching 1.5 stories. The water came so swiftly that we couldn't salvage any of our belongings. Now the area is inaccessible due to the water level and we are forced to live in tents on the road, unable to return home.
Now the catastrophic floods continue to wreak havoc in Pakistan. 820 people in the country have lost their lives.
this year in various rain-related incidents. Yesterday in eastern Pakistan, flood waters hit the outskirts of the country's second biggest city, Lahore, and threatened to submerge the major town of Jung in the worst flooding in almost 40 years in that part of the country. Flood waters from the overflowing Ravi River have submerged homes in Shadra town near Lahore, displacing dozens of families. Many have taken shelter in an elementary school on higher ground where doctors are treating them for flood-related skin infections.
As you can see, our homes have collapsed, the walls have fallen, and everything is damaged. Our family has had to leave the house. The flood has caused serious hardship and heavy losses. We've taken our animals and moved to the other side, away from our home that was hit by the floods.
In Punjab province, rescue teams were seen navigating through muddy waters to reach stranded people and livestock in flooded villages. The eastern province, home to over half of Pakistan's population, has been severely impacted by the flood. At least 12 people have died here so far. Pakistan has evacuated